The 25th Hour Radio Show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today to the 25th Hour Radio Show here on Monster Radio, AM 1150. I am your host, Rob Fairless, and on the phone with me today is television star, businesswoman, and model, Nicole Hoopz Alexander. Nicole, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Nicole, let's start by going back a few years and discuss how you first became known to the general public as a contestant on VH1's Flavor of Love. What were you doing at the time of booking, or what were you doing at the time of being chosen for the show, and how did you end up being chosen for the show?
It was all so random, and I guess fate, I don't know. It's like being in the right place at the right time, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really have a strategic plan I can give you. I ended up in LA. I was visiting a friend, and we were going around, and he literally had to see his agent. And, of course I was doing the modeling stuff or whatever, but it was local. It was just here and there. And so I was just like, okay, well, let's go in here. And so it was just so surreal because I'm sitting there and I'm listening and watching them like, oh, this is how it goes. And she looked at me, she's like, wait, what do you do? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just like a small town girl from Michigan. I don't do anything. I'm just visiting. And she looks at my friend. She's like, take her over to this building right now. There's like 5 more minutes until they close the doors. And I'm thinking like, what? She's like, okay, come on. We got to do what she says. We walk over to this studio, and it is a production company, 51 Minds at the time. And I haven't a clue what's going on. I'm just rolling with the punches. And they interviewed me, and they just started asking dating questions. Are you single? Where's the weirdest place you had sex? Like, all these crazy questions. And I'm like, I'm kind of a kid, I mean? I'm only 20.
Now, were you kind of on edge when they were asking you those type of questions?
Yeah, I had to ask them like 3 questions before I even answered it, So they're like, it's just, we just want to know. And, the main part, if you're single, and would you ever do like a crazy dating show? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm single, so whatever. So I go back to Michigan, and it was probably a month later, my phone rings. So I answer, and they're like, hey, would you be available to come to LA and stay for at least 3 to 4 weeks? And I'm like, well, yeah, I have nothing else going on besides my job here. I could get away. And that was it. So with that, we had no idea who it was going to be, what kind of show it was going to be. I didn't know there was going to be a million other women. I had, back then, reality was real. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. We were very much kept in the dark. So then here it goes. We get our name tags, and then we walk in, and there's a platform, and you're in this big, humongous mansion, and it is so surreal to me. I'm just looking around. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's these big cranes. There's cameras everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, and then all of a sudden, here comes this girl, and this girl, and this girl. So there's 20 of us, and we're just standing on these little steps or whatever, and before you can catch your breath, 3, 2, 1, and boom, you're live. Like, the doors open up, and here comes Flavor Flav, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
So you didn't know who you were trying to win the love of, basically.
No, I don't even know if any of us realized, like, I will speak for me, that it was that type of, like, we're going up to win the affection of, we just knew it was a dating show. We didn't know, like, if there was going to be a bunch of guys, one guy, or however, or whatever. Yeah, so we had no clue. And I think that's a misconception with the whole show. I think people think that we knew it was Flav, and we were like, oh my gosh, we want to go date and marry Flav. Like, no. All due respect, but no. So that's how that started and happened. And yeah, my luck, I won.
Yeah, you did. Now, did you ever have your doubts about doing that show once the filming started? I mean, because like you said, Absolutely. At that time, reality shows were brand new, and this was basically uncharted territory.
Absolutely. So once he walked in, I hit for the first 2 or 3 episodes. You don't even see me. I'm in the room. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I started to see what was going on, and then, productions coming in and out and making these girls go jump on him and all these different things. And I'm like, hold on, you can't pay me enough to pretend to be something I'm not. There's no force in the world that can make me be like a certain way because it's the show or there's cameras or however, you know what I mean? So, and then those shows, you had a bar full of liquor. So you put a bunch of girls and some liquor in a house, and you have a show. You know what I'm saying?
And roll the cameras.
Yeah. and add the cameras in there. And you know, I didn't drink either. So I was really outside my element. So I just said, okay, have fun. I'm in it. And just, you know, that I don't know, take it for what it was. And I did. And me and Slave got very close. We started to have like so much fun. And genuinely, as a person, he is amazing. So, you know, it was cool.
Now, you said it wasn't scripted, and there was so many girls, and one girl got voted off each week. Was there genuine jealousy involved?
I guess they would have to speak for their own selves. I never felt it because whatever happened for me. You know, I'm not sure. Like, I think when it gets down a certain line, I mean, obviously you don't want to go home, and maybe that was the competitiveness in the women and the jealousy of him getting closer. They knew that if they didn't make that connection, well, boom, they're going home. So they had to. So yeah, I mean, I guess in a sense, and I don't know, I guess it played out how it was supposed to.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. Me and my wife watched the Flavor of Love religiously when it was on. We loved it. Yeah. What was the Graham? I mean, you won. What was your prize for winning? I can't remember.
I got a golden grill and Slave.
Yeah, but you got your name out there too, right? I mean, and I want to say something. If you're out there listening right now and you don't already know about the Flavor of Love, tell them a little bit. I mean, it was all these girls on here trying to win the love of rap artist Flavor of Love.
Right. Basically, you know, it started the whole love concept. So, I mean, this is the thing. The Bachelor was on, as it has, you know, every year it comes on. It does very well. And so, you know, people got smart and said, well, you know what? If we can't beat them, we join them. So they were like, we need to do the Blackula. Like, there's no black Bachelor, so we'll get the black person we know, and we'll put a bunch of girls with them. Literally, that's how the concept came. I mean, obviously, Slave was touring. Public Enemy, one of the biggest hip hop groups ever, and so he already had a name and a movement and everything. And they tried to, ensemble the Bachelor, and it worked. I mean, we kind of still are the number one, especially coming out for a premiere rated reality television. So I think it was something over 10 million people. Like it was insane. So it really started the movement, and then obviously today you still see some of the love shows trying to continue to do it. I mean, but we're the OGs who started it, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, you're still your name is synonymous with the show, but you're also done your own thing. Yes. I mean, other contestants have come out of this show and made a name for themselves, like, you know, New York, Tiffany Pollard, who is probably the most well-known contestant other than you know, who came out of the season. Now, are you still in contact with any of these girls? I mean, did any of the drama on the show carry over to real life after filming?
Yeah, it did. It actually did. I never got close with anybody besides Pumpkin. And it was crazy because we went on to actually do the 2008 I Love Money show, where they came together and put all the all-stars from all the I Love shows, from I Love New York and the Rock of Love and Flavor of Love, and put us all on an island to go and win a chance to win $250,000. So once again, I'm on another contestant show, and Pumpkin and I were close, and but it's funny what money does to you, and we completely fell out because people, well, you get to see who they really are. I mean, when they say money's going to tell you, it was crazy, the personalities that really come out to win this money. And I don't know, I guess I got lucky again, and I won that too, but I stayed true to who I was.
Yeah, I mean, so the experience that you had on Flavor of Love opened up a whole new world for you, right? I mean, like you said, those opportunities. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it did, and everybody's like, you went on there to get fame. First of all, no, that's not. People are going to have their opinions and everything. They really don't know the life behind television. And once again, it's a God gift thing. Like, seriously, I just always call it a blessing. Right time, right place. It wasn't something I aspired for. So a lot of people are like, how do I make it? And I have to be honest. I wouldn't be able to tell you these steps. You just have to believe in whatever it is you're doing, and you know that you're right where you're supposed to be. And things just happen for me. So it's very hard for me to give somebody the blueprint to be in the business. You understand? Because it happened different for me, but it opened the door. Slade told me my life would change after that. Didn't know what the heck he was talking about because, you know, once again, I'm I'm within a situation. I'm like, what? He's like, they're going to love you. They're going to love you. Hoopz, they're going to love you. And I'm like, who? He's like, the world. So I was tossed into it very quick. And like I said, the show was very big. So I was a fan favorite. And I think a lot of people that go out and do these shows and get on TV automatically assume that they will be stars. And it just doesn't work like that. So I'm very lucky and blessed to start my name out there. But it's not because of just that show. You have to keep on pushing and working. And I'm an entrepreneur now. So it doesn't necessarily mean I win at everything. You just have to keep going and trying. And that's basically where I am today. So
now I'm curious, did you ever have quote unquote opportunities or offers that you turned down because you weren't interested or just because maybe it didn't fit who you were?
Absolutely. Both of those are true. Clearly, it was really a big show, and what happens when it doesn't runs well, then they take the star and you keep on going. They're called spinoffs. And I turned 2 different shows down, and also E ended up calling me too because a couple of the bachelors that they had on the Real Bachelor show on ABC requested that I be in the cast, and I turned that down as well. Like, for one, I didn't want to be with 20 other guys, and I knew that it just wasn't something real. It was show business, and that's fine. It's just that I also know what it takes to carry a show and kind of be in that whole situation. And once again, I guess it would have been me not being myself and knowing how it ends, and it's really not real because after it ended, it wasn't like me and Slave were together. They were already filming for season 2 and season 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I guess, kind of was phony baloney to me. So I didn't want to carry that trait on, knowing behind the scenes. But I turned out a lot because it just didn't fit who I was. It just didn't have substance behind it. I still get requests today. But until it fits me and like it's something that I'm passionate about, I'll keep saying no, I guess, until it just fits me, so.
Yeah. And you spoke of being an entrepreneur, outside of reality shows, you have done, really well for yourself. You're so much more than a reality TV star. As far as on the business end, you've been able to market yourself extremely well. Do you enjoy the behind the scenes work just as much as being on camera?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, and for me, it's about constantly pushing yourself forward and moving up. I get bored in the same place for a long time. So like I never can sit still, and I feel like you have to keep advancing in life. For me, that's happiness, and it means I'm doing something right, and it feels like success to me. So as long as I'm moving forward, and even if whatever I touch doesn't, like I said, like go into fruition and 100% benefit everybody around me or myself included, then it's okay because I tried it. It was a thought, it manifested, and you move on if it doesn't work. You just have to keep going. But I loved being behind the scenes of the new show that I did. It Takes the Sister. It was very tough because I also was talent in it, and I had to be a million different people at once, creative, executive. It was so much, but I loved it because I can multitask well, and plus it was a good production. But so I love being behind the scenes. I love seeing something unfold, and it's like that was your idea, and boom, there it is. You can look at it and move on.
Just listening to the way you talk, I think deep down you're an entrepreneur at heart. You're actually doing what you were meant to do all along. Do you feel the same way? Have you been able to adapt to that end of the spectrum quite naturally, or am I wrong on that?
No, it has been. I guess there's different eras too. I come from a grind and hustle place that'll never leave my soul and blood, even growing up. I think you're a product of your environment. When you have to do these things to maintain or survive or keep going, you just don't stop. Like I always say, like in this era that we're in right now, social media has helped make it a self-entitlement type of feel. Like everybody's accessible now, so it takes some of the authenticity away from the hard work that people do put in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and I realized, because there was this thing, people would always ask me, like, we were one of the biggest reality shows to hit, so it was us against the actors. The big A-list actors. Obviously, we're B. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to call myself an A-list. I'm a B-lister. And they were like, well, does it get mad? Do you get mad that these A-listers are talking about you guys like this? I said, no, I don't, because you put something out there and you're instantly successful. You have instant gratitude from the entire world, and you really didn't work at it. You just showed up on television, right? And so the actors that work their lives, from childhood actors and grow up, they feel like, well, dang. So I understand it. And it's happening again with this new generation. and posting and all of these, everybody's a model and everybody's a entrepreneur and everybody's these endorsers, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of happening again, but you just have to adapt to it, because if not, you already know what happens after that. You just fall off. You have to roll with the movement. I mean, that's evident in this election. Hate to get political, but you know what I mean? You see the same.
My name's Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Exactly. So
what types of things you got going on at the moment, my listeners might be interested in? I mean, any new projects or current projects you want to make people aware of?
Yeah, I'm working on developing a wine and champagne line right now. I'm going to launch champagne first, and we're doing a rosé and the brut. So the bottles are manufacturing right now. I mean, it's been a crazy process just because it's an untouched world for me. So I love the experience of kind of learning it, and I love wine. So coming out with a Nicole Alexander wine, fine wine line, and then also a game app that'll be launching actually the end of this November. I got with the company and we've been designing. It's called Survival of the Fittest, and it will be available for download on Android and iOS. And it's just promoting, people an active lifestyle. So it's really fun. It's adventurous because I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I'm constantly doing something crazy or just adventurous, just to be active more, because my lifestyle doesn't require me to be able to have a kind of routine in a gym. So it doesn't mean you can't stay fit and healthy. So this game combines both mental and physical challenges, and it's pretty awesome. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, now you spoke of your social media. As far as social media and website, where can people go to have the online experience of Nicole Hoopz Alexander?
Yeah, Facebook, you can go to Hoopz, Hoopz, or Nicole Hoopz Alexander, and I'll pop up there. And all my pages are verified, because there are a bunch of fake ones out. Yes, believe it or not, there still are. And right, Instagram, Twitter, and what else is there? Geez, Snapchat. There's too many.
There is too many. There is way too many.
Too many. Yes, but it's all combined. It's just The Real Hoopz, if you want to find me. The Real Hoopz, and Hoopz is with a Z. And you can follow what's going on.
Now, do you have one you prefer over the other where people can find you hanging out more often?
Probably Facebook and Instagram. They're kind of combined for me or whatever. I put more video and live content out, so right at the moment on Facebook. So I do like live chats and stuff like that or whatever, like questionnaires and how-tos and stuff like that. So getting more into that, Facebook. But for pictures and up-to-date stuff is Instagram. I love Instagram because you can kind of put who you are out there versus what the media has to say.
I got you. So before we start to wrap this up, I always give my guest the opportunity to actually wrap up the interviews. Anything you want to say to your fans out there who have supported you throughout the years?
No, just I wouldn't. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. I mean, a lot of people say that, but I have the most supportive fans in the entire world. And I'm telling you, it's been, 10, 11, 12 years since that show came out. And they still go crazy over it. And so I just appreciate them and the support and love you all. Thank you.
One more question. How is your love life right now?
I don't have one.
I might strike that from the interview. I don't know.
Oh, leave it in there. It's totally okay. It's okay to not be in a relationship. I haven't really got serious with anybody after Shaquille. And so I am single and just focused on work. And if love happens to just bump me or knock me off my feet, I may pay attention to it. Yeah, who knows?
And if you guys ever get a chance, make sure you go to Nicole's Facebook page. You might check her out on a live post up on top of her roof, right?
Yeah. That's where the last one happened to be, yeah.
Well, Nicole, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. No problem.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.